It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of August 2nd, 1996. We got 5 movies to look at today, so let's go ahead and jump into it. We'll start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, Danny DeVito's adaptation of Roald Dahl's Matilda.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Matilda.
Hi, Dad.
Get in the car, Melinda.
Matilda!
Whatever.
Who was extraordinary in every way.
Pretty soon you'll be able to do any multiplication, whether it's 2 times 7 or 13 times 379.
4,927.
Wow. She can multiply large sums in her head. So can a calculator.
But in a world where grown-ups make all the rules.
I'm smart. You're dumb.
I'm big and you're small.
I'm right.
And you're wrong.
In a school where the principal
In this school, I am God.
has no principles.
Yes, Miss Trunchbull. Sir, the Trunchbull used to be in the Olympics. Shot put, javelin, hammer throw.
She will discover
Somebody's gonna teach her a lesson.
deep inside herself
You should believe in whatever power you think you have inside of you.
a secret weapon
What's it with my powers?
to even the odds.
No more Miss Nice Girl.
Hey, dip face, have a carrot.
Nah, you eat it.
Now,
Cookie.
You will not leave this platform until you have consumed the entire confection.
she gives power
You can do it, Brucey!
to the powerless. Help to the helpless.
Harry, take your hat off.
I can't get it off.
And disaster to those who deserve it. From the author of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and James and the Giant Peach, and the unique vision
What did you do to your hair?
of director Danny DeVito, comes the story of every kid's right to stand tall, no matter how small. Matilda.
Matilda, admittedly, is one of those movies that really, when I first saw it when it came out, it didn't really catch on with me. I was a 7-year-old boy back then. It was a movie that was clearly aimed at girls. At least I thought it was at first, but yeah, that's kind of why I didn't really get fully invested into this movie at first. I did eventually watch it on video. My older sister and I used to watch it a couple of times when we were growing up, and I thought it was alright. I didn't think it was anything too spectacular or anything too significant. As the years have gone on, I have slowly but surely begun to realize that this movie is actually a lot better than I gave it any credit for. One, just the style of filmmaking of Danny DeVito. This is another one of his great films that he's done as a director. He's done great things like The War of the Roses, Hoffa. He also did The Ratings Game, and he would later do Death to Smoochie and Duplex. Like, he's made some pretty unique movies. This is a very uniquely shot film, too. I mean, the cinematographer isn't Barry Sonnenfeld, but he comes pretty darn close to coming up with some of the similar shots that Barry Sonnenfeld used to have with a movie like this. And it's a visually interesting movie on that level. Plus, it's pretty faithful to the original novel, too, by Roald Dahl. It's a very solid film. The film perfectly cast Mara Wilson in this role. I'm beginning to realize that Mara Wilson had more good movies in the early part of her career than bad ones. I mean, yeah, we're gonna get to the bad ones eventually, but I mean, this movie, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Miracle on 34th Street remake, all pretty good movies, honestly. Danny DeVito is also a ton of fun in this, playing alongside Rhea Perlman. One of the few times where you work with your spouse and it doesn't turn out to be a terrible movie. They have a good cast overall. And Biff Davis playing the teacher is very good here. Pam Ferris playing Trunchbull in this is very good. I could have sworn someone said that she was in the musical that just came out, the musical movie. I could not find anything on that on Wikipedia, so I don't know if that's true or not, but the movie overall, the whole idea is you can take a lot of the ideas in this movie and apply it to modern times, like the ideas of using these psychokinetic abilities and seeing how you are how you're the smart member of a family that's completely out of your range, and I mean, out of your what am I trying to say here? Out of your normal, what am I trying to say? Essentially, she's kind of the black sheep of the family. She's nothing like the rest of her family, and it's kind of interesting to see that play out in this way. And you could definitely take a lot of those elements, along with some other elements of the film as well, and apply it to modern civilization, like the modern satire. In a way, it's kind of a precursor to some. It's kind of satirical compared to what it is to what's going on now in modern in the time we're living in now. You could definitely take a lot from that. I think the movie overall really is a ton of fun. I think it's a film that it slowly but surely begins to come along as you get older. You get older to fully realize what this movie is about, what this movie is trying to tell you. And I think you can definitely, I think a lot of people can relate to this movie a lot. And it's no wonder why you see this on TV more than I think some other movies of the past is of the 1990s. Like you see this on Freeform every couple of months. Like every couple of months they'll play it on TV. It's become a staple of television. Maybe that's why they just did the musical version of this in a movie. It's a really good film. It's a really enjoyable film. It's a film that I think has definitely grown on me in the years since it's come out, and I can fully see why it has had the cult following that it's had over the years. It's a really enjoyable film. I highly recommend checking it out. Matilda, a great film. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next movie, and that is Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman in Chain Reaction.
The Cold War may be over, but we now find ourselves embroiled in another struggle, an international industrial struggle, a struggle we dare not lose.
In a split second,
Did you computer model your work?
No, I didn't. I was too busy building it.
Eddie Kasalovich will be left with the one thing no one else possesses.
Cheap, abundant energy, water with the hydrogen.
We'd be interested in this technology.
A secret
Who wouldn't?
the rest of the world would kill for.
There are many threats to our way of life. Not all of them wear uniforms. You run. You have every gun-carrying idiot in the country looking for you.
Warrants have been issued for Edward Kasalovich.
I got him.
Keanu Reeves,
Someone's setting us up.
Morgan Freeman,
You said you had it under control.
I did.
every action
You can't. I gotta go. We'll come to you. Eddie!
has an equal
We're watching everything.
I'm getting framed.
How did we end up here?
and opposite.
It's classified. Your position is non-negotiable.
We didn't do anything.
Reaction.
Your experiment just got a mind of its own.
Chain reaction.
Who are you? I'm your friend, Eddie.
Another one of those movies that have a lot of big names on it. I mean, you have Keanu Reeves, you have Morgan Freeman, you also see Rachel Weisz in there, Fred Ward, Kevin Dunn, Brian Cox. It's directed by the guy that did The Fugitive, and he did Under Siege, two of the best action movies of the decade, and this movie just doesn't really carry that same mustard that I think they wanted it to. And even Keanu Reeves himself has admitted that this is a film that was a stinker right from the get-go. They changed the script around, and the story overall doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's a film that I think has some pretty good special effects for the time, and yeah, the special effects are nice in this, but it doesn't really carry the movie over. Like, Keanu Reeves was trying his best here, so was Morgan Freeman, but I really think a rewriting of the script could have easily made this a much better film. It's a pretty substandard thriller. Like, there's nothing really engaging about it. There's nothing really that intense about it. There's nothing about this that makes you say, wow, they actually did something unique and clever here. There's none of that in this movie, and it's a shame because there's potential with the talent that's on board here, and you've got a really solid director to make this work, and it's just nothing there to show for it. It's a film that has so much potential, but it just can't stick the landing in the end. The script is just really not that good. It's relying heavily on the visual effects to keep you invested, and it just can't really do the trick. It's a film that just really doesn't work on the level that it is right now. A rewrite could have easily helped this movie a lot better, but as it is, yeah, it's a pretty bad movie. So that's Chain Reaction. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next movie, and that is Phat Beach.
And a
What? What? Benny and Darrell thought it was time for a change.
Quit your job, let's mob to the beach today.
But they had one problem.
How are we gonna get there? No way, Darrell.
Now they're on their way.
You got any drugs on you?
Just a video camera.
Yeah, real good one, too. To the freshest place around.
We're about to have some fun under the sun. Got a little thinner here, what you think?
Phat Beach.
Thinner than an elephant.
Rated R. Starts August 2nd at a theater near you.
From the creator of Entourage, and I'm not even joking, this is the director of this is Doug Ellin, who later went on to create Entourage, and his first movie he ever did was considered to be one of the greatest and perhaps only hip-hop beach movies of all time, according to one quote that I see here on Wikipedia. I've never even heard of this movie before, so that's pretty much going to tell you everything I know about this. I literally know nothing about this movie. I know it's got Jermaine Hopkins and Brian Hooks in the leads. Coolio is in here as well, so is Tiny Lister. And, that's really all I got for you, because I know nothing about this movie. I didn't even know this movie even existed until I saw the date for it, but it's apparently got its fan base. Chris Rock is a big fan of it, so is Kendrick Lamar. It's got a cult following, so I don't know. Maybe it was just something that I just never knew about. But, well, it is something I never knew about, so I really can't say if it's good or not. But, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know about this one. I literally knew nothing about it until I actually looked at the list for this week and saw that film there. I wish I had some more for you, but that's pretty much all I got for this one. So that's Phat Beach. Let's take a look at a much different movie, and that is Gwyneth Paltrow starring in Emma.
In the English countryside, amid great beauty and privilege, a young woman named Emma devoted herself to one task.
Mr. Elton will be the next person to benefit from my help.
The business of meddling and matchmaking.
Mr. Elton, may I present Miss Smith?
Miss Smith? She's a very good sort of girl, and I'm sure there are men who would not object to. Everybody has their level.
Now, keep on, Emma.
But how many alliances can she create?
Mr. Knightley warned me.
Better be without sense than as pliant as you do.
Before disaster
Oh, dear. Good God.
catches up with her.
I sought to bring two people together, and I shall never do it again.
Emma, with this kind of past,
I do so wonder, Miss Woodhouse, that you are not married.
how can she choose her future?
I love John.
Lovely. Mr. Frank Churchill
He's in love with you.
Is that true?
I hate John.
I have developed certain feelings for someone of a most tender and devoted nature.
Lovely, lovely.
The most incomprehensible thing in the world to a man is a woman who rejects his offer of marriage.
Something has happened to the wheel, and I cannot move.
Well, you'll just have to live here then. Bye-bye.
I have something to tell you which I'm afraid you will not like. But, Mr. Churchill, good God.
Miramax Films is proud to present Gwyneth Paltrow, Toni Collette, Jeremy Northam, Ewan McGregor, Greta Scacchi, and Polly Walker in Jane Austen's timeless comedy, Emma.
Try not to kill my dogs.
So this is, of course, based off of Jane Austen's best-selling novel of the same name, Emma. It's actually one of two adaptations we've gotten over the past 25 years. The other one was the Anya Taylor-Joy one that actually came out just before the pandemic hit in 2020. And this one, of course, features Gwyneth Paltrow as Emma Woodhouse, and a cast that also includes Alan Cumming, Toni Collette, Ewan McGregor, Jeremy Northam, Greta Scacchi, Polly Walker. And I just watched this one recently because I just got it with a two-film set that includes this and Clueless. And it's funny because it's listed as original and remake, because this is Clueless, essentially a remake of the original Jane Austen story of Emma, but this movie actually came out a year after Clueless did, so take that for what you will. But either way, this is still a pretty entertaining movie, and the other one, the Anya Taylor-Joy one, is actually pretty good too. But this is a very good movie. It's a very good period comedy that, despite being a period piece, it still holds up pretty well for modern times. Like, it's a story that works very well here. You got a great cast with Paltrow in the leading role here. The comedy overall is very solid. It's a good love story. It makes the most of the source material by Jane Austen, and it's just a very solid, enjoyable film. It's a film that keeps up with the good pace. It never feels like it's boring you or it's just too smart for your own good. They know exactly what they need to do to sell you on this movie, and it does a pretty good job here. You got to give a lot of credit to Douglas McGrath, the director of this, for making an adaptation that doesn't feel like it's talking down to you. It's a film you can easily follow along, and you get a lot of enjoyment out of it. A great cast overall, really solid story, does a very good job of staying true to the original source material. It's a very good film. I mean, I can't recommend this one enough. If you haven't seen Emma, I'd say definitely check it out. So, that is Emma. Let's go ahead and take a look at the last movie that we have here, and that is Cyclo. And of course, I had to stop it there because Radiohead's Creep was about to come on. Literally, that's in the trailers for this movie, and I think it's actually in the movie for this. But this is Cyclo. This is a Vietnamese film. It's following the hard lives of labor force in the early 1990s, Ho Chi Minh City, and how people come under the influence of crime. It's considered hard to understand because of abstract and wordless communication. And I'm literally reading this off Wikipedia because I've never seen this movie, nor do I really know a whole lot about it, but the movie is seen by one person, Janet Maslin, asserted that as the style, which is typical of this film's director, Tran Anh Ung, that makes the movie more memorable and successful. And you saw it won the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival, and I wish I had more to tell you, but that's pretty much everything I know about this particular film. I don't know if it's good or not. I don't know if it's anything too spectacular, but I know it has the song Creep in it from Radiohead. But other than that, that's pretty much it. That's just me filling some time here. So, yeah. That's all I know about Cyclo. So, on that note, that wraps up another edition of Time About the Movies. Next time we meet, we'll take a look at the films of August 9th, including Robin Williams' infamous Jack, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. The return of Slate Plissken, once again played by Kurt Russell, and Escape from L.A. from John Carpenter. We also have Basquiat and also Flirt. So 4 movies to look at next time around, and we'll take a look at those on the next episode. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time, and until then, as always, take care.